Let's also bring in Mayuresh Joshi into the conversation. Mayuresh, I want to get your views on a couple of interesting earnings reactions. The market seems to be very happy with Amara Raja. Marico's numbers have been well received. We will be, of course, hearing from Britannia as well. Your thoughts on some of these, major earnings that we've seen over the last 24 to 48 hours?
Afternoon, Surabhi. So yes, I think Amara Raja did impress more or less the bottom line 20% growth to 135 odd crores. So I think the outside element for battery makers, including Amara Raja and Exide, will be how lead costs probably span out over the next few quarters. And if one takes a cognizant view in terms of lead costs being stable around the current prices, the margin expansions can probably happen at least on the pass-through on the replacement side of the business. Now again, Amara Raja, in terms of the expansion plans that it has earmarked both for the two-wheeler and the four-wheeler business, along with the earnings growth that is expected of 15-16%, I think very strong balance sheet again supports the earnings trajectory that this company can post. So a large element is that within the auto space, Amara Raja has been a long-term favorite of mine. Results were impressive, so I think continue to remain constructive on this stock. For Marico in particular, I think the volume growth, yes, better than what the street was probably estimating at this point of time. The management, again, as I was hearing on your channel in the morning, was contemplating that copra prices have probably hit the peak. So in that sense, again, what probably happens in terms of price hikes that they've taken and the volume growth expectations, both on Parachute, the value-added hair oils, as well as the Saffola suite, I think that is around 8-10%, which is quite reasonable over the next few quarters. Now, if you talk about valuations, probably fairly valued. So from a risk-reward perspective, from the current level, maybe a 10-12% move on the higher side. But yes, within this space itself, I think I'll continue to prefer Imami on declines. And as you rightly pointed out, I think Britannia, I think the earnings expectations are expected to be strong. The direct reach is somewhere that the management is very, very concentrated about. So 20 to 20, around 2 to 2.5 lakh direct distribution channels expected to open in terms of outlet reach. The cost optimization program probably augurs well. And again, I think the unorganized biscuit size at this point of time pretty large, which should abet Britannia in terms of their marketing strategy and overall programs. So the valuations, though they remain on the higher side, I think it's a very, very attractive proposition for investors holding on to it. So it's a clear hold on Britannia from our side.
To increase the output. Mayuresh, your thoughts on Hindustan Zinc?
So generally, I think this should act positively, but over the longer period of time, if you look at the transcript post the Q3 numbers, the management was very, very hopeful, Anuj, in terms of the mined metal production going up exponentially, and that too from the underground mine. So the kind of impact that we've probably seen in terms of costs inching up, I think they should start dwindling down, and that effect would largely be felt in terms of an EBITDA per ton improving quite significantly. The second important element in terms of even the silver production that is expected and prices expected to remain stable both for silver, zinc as well as lead, as I was mentioning when I was talking about Amara Raja as well. I think that should augur well from an earnings perspective as well. So I think a very, very stable volume growth expected over the next few quarters, as I think the underground mining starts happening in a substantial manner, leading to volume growth. And that probably reflects very, very positively in terms of both their EBITDA margins as well as their bottom line. So yes, I think remain very, very positive on this stock over the medium to long term.
Okay, some interesting stock moves. Anuj